we just want to show the Westboro Church that in spite of their intolerance, we can come together to show love and acceptance, and that the Lowell community is one of acceptance and toleration.
Our friend Alex, he made a Facebook group and just invited everyone and was like, this needs to just happen.
And we talked about ideas, and then everything really went in motion come Tuesday when we had to talk with the administration, the Wellness Center, and then we just started getting things in action.
I met with students, different student groups, and our main message was to turn something hateful or something negative into a positive.
They gave out yarmulkes today on the catwalk, and everybody made posters just to show support for our diverse community.
What's going on here is at my back is so much love and so much support and so much amazing student community from Lowell that it brought tears to my eyes, really. And I can't even feel the hate because there's so much love going on behind me.
We are turning the negativity of the Westboro Baptist Church into something positive. We had a dance party, we had singers from our school perform, and just an overall bonding.
We weren't sure if they were going to even show up, and we decided that in spite of everything, we need to have this rally for ourselves. And we had no clue what was going to happen, and something amazing happened.
We're getting so much support both from our student body and people that aren't even part of our school. This is great.
I think all of us in our lives have somebody that is Jewish or gay, and that's why I came all the way over here to stand by Lowell's side.
To all stand up against one thing together makes you feel like a big community, and it feels really good.
I never even saw the protesters, and I think very few of the students ever saw them because it really wasn't about them. It was really about someone challenging us to rise to the occasion. It gives me a lot of hope and inspiration about where this world's going, that this generation can kind of combat hatred and different forms of violence with such positivity.
Hello everyone, welcome back to GGN. This is part 3 for today, for Monday, May 27th, 2013. I'm Darko. My website is ggnonline.com, and on YouTube my channels are ddarko2012 and ddarko2013. Okay, so Biden says Jewish leaders drove gay marriage changes. Speaking at Jewish American Heritage Month reception, the U.S. Vice President says Jewish values are an essential part of who Americans are. I somehow lost the original article because the original article was about how this rabbi was actually saying, hey there, Uncle Joe, what the hell, dude? Throwing us under the bus. You're not supposed to tell him that. He didn't get the memo or something, but I found that kind of funny that they were saying, what are you talking about? Because they themselves they don't promote that. They only promote it from everybody else. It's like I said, they use that for political control because they're a minority. So privately, yes, they are, but publicly, no, they're not. U.S. Vice President Joe Biden is praising Jewish leaders for helping change American attitudes about gay marriage and other issues. He said culture and arts change people's attitudes. He cited social media and the old NBC TV series Will and Grace. Check out some of the stuff now with the new normal and all that stuff as examples of what has helped change attitudes on gay marriage. So it goes on here and it says that Biden said, think beyond all of that. I bet you 85% of those changes, whether it's in Hollywood or social media, are a consequence of Jewish leaders and industry. He says the influence was immense and those changes have been for the good. He spoke Tuesday night at a Jewish American Heritage Month reception hosted by a Democratic National Committee. He also said Jewish values were an essential part of who Americans are. Biden says Jewish influence behind American cultural politics is immense. So yeah, he goes on and he was praising a Jewish audience. He spoke of prominent roles Jews had played in transforming American attitudes towards civil rights, feminism, and gay rights. He says, you make up 11% of the seats in the United States Congress. Even though they represent less than 2% of the population, they actually represent about 20+ % in politics. Make up 1/3 of all Nobel laureates. You have Obama, who he received a Peace Prize, so I don't know how much credibility there are to those things. So many notions that are embraced by this nation that particularly emanate from over 5,000 years of Jewish history, tradition and culture, independence, individualism, fairness, decency, justice, and charity. Lastly, Jewish heritage has shaped who we are, all of us, me, as much or more than any other factor in the last 223 years, and that's a fact. Researchers say Western IQs dropped 14 points over the last century. A new study from researchers in Europe claims the average IQ in Western nations dropped by a staggering 14 points over the past century. I do believe there is a dumbing down. I mean, I know there's a dumbing down in the school's education system, so I call it indoctrination camps. But I don't really agree with the whole IQ test, because I think it's basically an indicator of who's going to be a good slave. Australian lawmakers call Israel lobby cancerous, so your perceived right to bully as you do in the Mideast doesn't extend to the Australian political arena, says Labour councillor. So he says the Israeli lobby in Parliament is cancerous and malicious. His full quote was, "I accept the right of people to express their views even when they are wrong, naive, ill-informed, indoctrinated, and blinded by the power of a political lobby group that is cancerous, malicious, and seeks to deny, misinform, and scaremonger." Georgia man threatens to sue if he can't tell strangers' children about Jesus. I'll get this out of the way. Georgia man is threatening to sue the city of Ringgold after he claims his constitutional rights were violated by police last Friday when officials asked him to stop bothering strangers' children about his beliefs in Christianity deity figure, Jesus Christ. It's interesting, too, because talking about proselytizing, the schools were able to teach, evolutionism and not teach creationism. They're able to teach sex ed and how to masturbate, and it's normal to be a homosexual, including up to kindergartners, and now they're trying to push for preschoolers. But you can't do anything like that. So Ohio School District weighs allowing creationism discussion in classrooms. So this will ever really happen. A proposal by an Ohio school district to add creationism to a list of controversial topics deemed appropriate for classroom discussion has ignited a debate over the separation of church and state. So, yeah, it says some parents urge the board to abandon a plan, along with the ACLU sent a letter to the board saying it violates separation of church and state. Anytime you promote or teach the beliefs of one religion over all other religions or beliefs in a public school classroom, that's a problem. School promotes Gender Bender Day, boys dressing as girls and vice versa. So, it says here, Deidre Hernandez's 7-year-old son won't be in school today after officials at Tippecanoe School for Arts confirm they're still holding a Switch It Up Day, a time for students to come dress as members of the opposite sex. So, see, they can push that. So the mother said she says it's ridiculous and creepy to ask elementary boys to come to school dressed as girls and vice versa, and predicts that having students dressed as transvestites will distract from the learning process. She wonders if it's being done to promote the acceptance of homosexuality of students in school, which runs from pre-kindergarten through 8th grade. Manitoba Teachers Society votes to infuse LBG issues throughout provincial curriculum. Manitoba's Teachers Society passed a resolution to lobby the provincial government to revamp its entire spectrum of existing curriculum to include the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual issues, people, and values. 90% of the 290 delegates voted in favor of the resolution. It would require all schools receiving public funding, both public and private, to follow the re-engineered curriculum. And of course, it's called normalizing, right? One example would be a math problem revised might include a mother and father, but can also include a single parent or parents of the same gender. America's top Catholic calls for a renewed wave of anti-LGBT sentiment. So actually, the original title I saw this was Renewed Wave of Homophobia, but they changed that. It says there are many ways to protect the basic human rights of all. True Christians should oppose extending the rights of marriage to LGBT people because doing so serves no one's rights, least of those children. A Toronto Catholic teacher, I don't know what's going on in Canada up there, joining gay club is embodiment of a perfectly formed Catholic conscience. So shocked parents and ratepayers last week when she declared that joining a gay-straight alliance is a perfect outcome for Catholic students. Remember, we were just talking about the pill for women. It says, can female Viagra save monogamy? And I was saying that how it could actually lead to increase in divorce. It's funny, though, because they actually said that it can save marriages. They said the opposite of what I was theorizing about. But as the relationship goes on, for reasons scientists don't fully understand, a woman's desire tends to dive dramatically while a man's doesn't. So is this because one's discriminating against? No, it's because physically women can bear children for only so long. They're either not fertile and that's for a reason, because if they do start having them, they can get hurt, not just the child, but themselves. And it sucks. This quote's coming from this guy because I don't think he has much credibility to most people. They just said what he said wasn't true. So, that aside, Roman Polanski blamed the pill for emasculating women. Asked by a reporter of his views on women, on how they've changed over the time, he thought feminism and advances in contraceptive have blurred the distinction between the sexes. He also said, I think that now offering flowers to a lady becomes indecent. That's how I feel about it. Like, maybe they'll get offended. I think to level the genders is purely idiotic. It's a result of progress in medicine. Congressman says stop Gosnell by putting a Planned Parenthood clinic in every neighborhood. So a congressman has a unique solution for the atrocities perpetrated by late-term abortionists who botched their delivery in utero. Build more abortion clinics. So says Gosnell will represent a poor quality of health care services. Not that the guy was pure evil in poor communities. Slick, isn't it? If it means funding a Planned Parenthood clinic in every neighborhood to put guys like Gosnell out of business, so be it. New Zealand pro-abortion group uses Gosnell case to push for decriminalization. The case of the House of Horrors abortionists is making waves on the opposite side of the globe, with New Zealand pro-abortion organization echoing the thoughts of Mr. Hogue, president, saying that the case is an argument in favor of decriminalization of abortion. So, it says, the quote was an important reminder that restrictive abortion laws open the door for people to prey on desperate women and lead to medical negligence. And many people are aware of these bridges, collapsing, infrastructure falling apart. Again, this is part of the plan, including, the eugenics where mass dying off of people. I mean, these people don't have jobs. The elites don't plan to give them jobs in the future. They do use chemtrails and different vaccinations, poisoning of food, shave the numbers off. Maybe we'll see a nice lab-engineered bio-attack. Another U.S. highway bridge collapses in Missouri state. So I think the moral infrastructure of America and other places is falling apart too. U.S. man beats to death great-grandparents and rapes infant granddaughter. A U.S. man in Alaska beat to death an elderly couple and sexually assaulted their 2-year-old great-granddaughter in the Anchorage, capital state of Alaska. Has come under arrest by local police. Washington man arrested for putting crying baby in freezer. 25-year-old man was arrested on Saturday after his girlfriend claims she saw him remove their infant daughter from the freezer where he had placed her in an apparent attempt to stop the child from crying. And these stories go on all the time. Nurse admits murdering 11 in Sydney nursing home. She pleaded guilty to murdering 11 elderly people by setting fire to the Sydney nursing home where she had worked. Suspect in police custody dies after female cop hits him with baton 10 times. This is a video in Sacramento. The video shows the suspect being restrained by a male officer's legs while a female officer strikes him. Lastly, dairy farmer acquitted on 3 of 4 charges in raw milk trial. Hirschberger's supporters said he was targeted for prosecution because he sold raw milk directly to consumers through a private buying club. The 41-year-old farmer whose farm was raided in 2010 faces a year in jail and $10,000 in fines. Thank you.